Okay, everybody, Stephen Key here, and today I want to do a special video for those engineers that are listening to inventRightTV, because I know there's a lot of engineers out there and they're wondering, is product licensing right for me? First of all, product licensing, it's really a simple concept. If I create a product or a service, I'm going to show it to a company that's looking for ideas, that needs ideas to stay competitive, and they're going to take my idea and they're going to bring it to market for me, because they're going to do all the heavy lifting. They're going to do the manufacturing, the marketing, the fulfillment. They're going to manage people. They're going to do everything. And they already have the shelf space because they're already in business. That's another alternative. Rather than starting the traditional way, or rather than starting a business, product licensing, you're licensing that to a company that's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. So let's say you're an engineer. Because there's a lot of us, including engineers, that maybe product licensing is a good fit because you don't want to start a business. Okay, today you're reading in the news about all these engineers starting these companies. And yes, it does happen, but typically I don't think a lot of engineers are running companies. And I'll explain why in just a minute. And I'll explain really why product licensing is probably a good fit for your skill set if you're an engineer. All right, number one, the biggest thing for me, and I'm going to include myself as kind of I wouldn't say a trained engineer, but I was a plush designer and I engineered products. I built prototypes, so I kind of fit in the same category. Product licensing, number one, reduces the risk. And I call myself the no-risk entrepreneur. I like the business side of bringing ideas to market, but I don't like all the risk associated with starting a company. So if you're that type of person, and I think a lot of engineers are, where you love the process, but maybe you don't want to manage people, raise money, and take that risk, product licensing might be a great avenue for you. So that's number one. Number two, I have product licensing. You know what it does? It increases your opportunity for success. There you go. I love product licensing because if you're someone that comes up with a lot of ideas, you can knock on a lot of doors. You can try to launch all those ideas if starting a business, which takes time, energy, and money, and a lot of risk. But with product licensing, I can come up with a lot of ideas, and all those ideas that I'm creating are opportunity for revenue. I love it. I like it because if I'm a numbers person, I love numbers, and I know to be successful, you have to knock on a lot of doors. You have to try a lot of things. It's always a numbers game. So number two, the benefit of product licensing is that it increases the opportunity to be successful because you're coming up with a lot of ideas. That's number two. All right, number three, details. I absolutely love when I'm building a prototype and coming up with maybe some of the manufacturing or some of the little things of how I'm going to bring my product to market. I love that type of information. And if you're an engineer, you love details too. You've been trained to know the details. Now, what I like about this is when you do license an idea to a company, they're going to love you because you are one of those individuals that you become an asset because you understand the details. And for me to license some of the bigger ideas that I bring to market, I know the details. I take away risk because I've done my homework and I'm part of their team now. So if you're an engineer, you can leverage that strength with product licensing because you understand the details and you love the details and you've been studying the details in your career. So that's really number three. Okay, number four. This is my favorite. No experience required. When you're running a company, you're going to have a little bit of experience in all aspects of running a company. That's going to be sales and marketing and fulfillment and inventory and manufacturing and prototyping. You need to know a little bit about everything. Well, I don't know a little, I'm not interested in some of those other areas, and I don't want to be a salesperson. I want to be a creative person. So one of the biggest benefits, I think, for me, and maybe for you if you're an engineer, is that you don't have to have experience and all these other things. So no experience is required to learn how to do product licensing. So that's why it's perfect for people like me, and maybe for you too. So that is number 4. Okay, number 5, the biggest benefit that I truly love is that I don't have to quit my day job. I can still do exactly what I'm doing, and I can work on my projects during lunch hour, in the morning, Saturday and Sundays. I love it because it's not a full-time job once you understand how to license your product ideas. Now, it could turn into a full-time job very quickly once they take a product and they need more involvement, of course, but you don't have to do this at the very beginning. You will know when it's the right time to maybe focus just on product licensing. So the great thing about it is you do not have to quit your day job. Okay, and that was number 5. I went over the 5 reasons why product licensing might be perfect for you if you're an engineer type of person. Because I'll tell you, for me personally, those 5 things apply to people like me as well. I'm not a classically trained engineer, but I do like the details, right? And I don't have experience running a company, and I want to increase my opportunity, and I want to do a lot of different things. So product licensing is perfect for me, and it might be perfect for you.